Hello, 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 Twitch. Welcome to another episode of The Takeaway with me, your host, Munif Saza. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us on another exciting episode. And today I've got a very, very special guest lined up for you. It's my own cousin, Faiz. So, Faiz, or if you want to call him by his formal name, Faisal. Faisal is my first cousin. His mom is actually my dad's oldest sister. He's always been a big brother to me. I actually dragged Faisal into real estate back when I first got into it a couple years ago. Faisal has been crushing it in real estate. He's been a big brother and a mentor to me my whole life. And he is a badass. He is the guy I go to for systems when I need help with my business systems. He's the guy I go to when I need help with comping, deal underwriting, all the technical stuff in real estate. When I'm lost, I go to Faisal for help. I've gone to Faisal for help for financial advice, investing advice. He's always been one step ahead, and he's definitely been a mentor to me. And now he is actually one of my partners in my real estate wholesaling business. He does all of our dispositions for our business. So I am so freaking excited to bring him on today to help you guys comp. So comping is such an important tool in real estate. I personally am not very good at comping. It's one of my weaknesses. So I figured, hey, let's get Faisal on here. Let's get him in and have him walk us through the basics and the fundamentals of comping. What's going on, Anthony? What's up, man? All right, here he is. What is up, Faisal? How are you doing, man?
Oh, I am doing wonderful. Thanks for having me.
Dude, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm so excited to have you as a guest today. So, Faisal, how do you know me?
I know you've seen since birth.
Yes.
So for people that don't know, obviously me and Munif are cousins. He's my younger cousin, even though I look younger.
It's true. It's true.
But yeah, we go way back, way back.
We go way back. He's known me back when I used to have hair.
Yes.
So he's got all the good hair genes in our family. It's something that, I've come to accept. And, he is known for being actually what I like to call a visionary and an integrator. So Faisal is a great visionary in business. And if you haven't read Rocket Fuel, go read Rocket Fuel. It is an amazing book. You'll learn a lot about yourself. You'll learn a lot about others. And so Faisal has been able to do both. Big Randy says Pfizer. So Randy knows the Pfizer joke. So we had, for those that are confused, on the Daily Dial one day, someone was calling him Faisal in a role play, or he was calling him Pfizer in a role play. And anyway, the name just stuck. So
Pfizer, Fios.
Fios is a good one. Visigrator
Visigrator.
is a great one. That's hilarious. So Faisal, what are we doing today?
We're comping, man. We're talking
Hell
about
yeah.
comping. And comping is interesting, right? Comping is interesting. The reason I find it interesting is it's not really cut and dry, right? There's so many dependencies to comping, but comping is also essential, right? Say suppose a person comes to you, a wholesaler comes to you and says that, oh yeah, I got 40 deals, right? But how many of those deals have actually gone to close of escrow?
Sometimes none.
Sometimes none, right? If you gave anybody, right? Just they can call people up and just make offers and get properties under contract. But that really means, honestly, nothing.
Yeah.
And the way you actually have a deal is if essentially the first step is if you find a buyer and it's a sign, but finally if it actually goes to close of escrow and the escrow closed. So time and time again, we see that, people are getting deals and then they can't sell them.
Yeah.
Or they can't close on them, right? Banks don't like it. The reason is they were not able to comp properly, right? And we've all been there, right? So it's super essential that you know how to comp, right? So in my business, um, we have lead gen, right? We obviously, dispo for a lot of our JV partners, but we have lead gen and then we have comping. That a quick and dirty comp happens right off the bat. So we know what kind of tactic to approach the sellers with, right?
Okay.
Whether it's going to be a cash when it's good on cash right away, we just go heavy cash, or it might be a creative deal. So we have different creative opportunities, but we always do comping, and comping is based on um, it can be street by street. For a place like Baltimore, it can be street by street, right?
Okay, so like let's do an example. So guys, if you're watching this, try to find, if you're struggling right now with an address or a house. I saw somebody had a plot of land that they want to come. We can, but let's stick to single family, residential, like single family houses, cookie cutter, or even like maybe not cookie cutter. Maybe it's kind of unique. But remember, guys, if it's really difficult to comp because there's low buyer activity, there's not other comparables, that should be a red flag, right? It means other people aren't really buying in that subdivision. My like spidey senses go off when I see something that's like, whoa, there's no real comps in a 2, 3, 5 mile radius. I got to pull a comp from all the way over here. What do you think, Faiz, when you get a property that's very difficult to comp? What are some signals that go off in your head?
So that's a very interesting question. So first off, if I see that a property is hard to comp, it's essentially there are no buyers, right? Right? Because you have to really understand your market, and this is why comping is important. If you're good at comping, you understand your market, right? Whatever market that is, right? You can actually, like, we enter markets in a day and we find buyers and stuff, right? We can do that. Is the reason is we know how to comp. Like, we can go into a market, whatever, if we have a property, we can see if the buyers are buy and holders or if they're flippers.
Interesting. Right? So there's I didn't even know there was a different, like, I just thought, hey, buyers are paying this much for the house. So does it actually matter if they're going to flip it versus they're going to hold it? Does it actually matter in how we assess it?
Yeah. And not only that, it matters how those local buyers are buying, right? Like, I live in Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh buyers will buy stuff extremely deep. Pittsburgh is one of those places where the return on investment for flippers is one of the highest.
Really?
Yes. That means it's bad for wholesalers because, you have to sell the deals very deep. Pittsburgh is a hard market to comp too. It's very old infrastructure. So you have properties in the 1800s and 1900s. And then some places have hills, some streets are shit. So again, you have to understand your market, and then you have to understand your buyers, and that's how you comp.
Interesting. Okay, so I got an example for you right here. This is a property I've been working on for about 6 months. It's a short sale. I got it at a certain price. I'm not going to tell you what the price is. I'm not going to tell the chat what the price is. But I actually got this lead from a JV back in, like, I want to say March of last year. We've been going through the short sale process for like since March of last year. And I've got the address, and so I'm going to put it in. It's under contract, right? So I'm comfortable putting the address in. I know no one's going to watch this video and try to, snipe a deal, even if I didn't have it under contract. But I'll put it in. It's 1304. I'm just going to triple check the.
Does it come in the private chat?
I can send it in the private chat. I mean, is that what you want me to do?
Because I can't see any of the comments.
You can't see. Well, what if I put it on the screen? Will you be able to see it if I put it on the screen? Let's
Yeah,
try.
yeah. And if someone have questions, how do I see that? Like, if I can, how do I see the chat?
So in the right side, do you see banner? Do you see private chat?
Yes.
Do you see comments?
Oh, I see comments. Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, Nicole. How are you? Nicole's amazing. All right, so that's the comments. And then does it let you click the comments and say show? Try to click a comment to sit. Maybe it'll let
Yeah,
you.
I can copy paste from there. Yeah.
Okay, well, so okay, Grove North Way, Atlanta. I think that's the address. But I'll put it in right here.
Okay, got it.
Got it?
Yeah.
Yep, and it's in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
So, do you want to share screen? Can you show us what you're doing?
Sure.
Here, I'm gonna set it so you can share screen. In the bottom, there's a share button.
Yes, I see that.
And then maybe you share a tab or your whole screen, whatever you're comfortable with.
Share screen. Share screen. Entire screen. I'll do entire screen. No problem.
There we go.
So, wow, that's crazy. So I use PropStream.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's other tools that you can use. I like PropStream. I'm used to PropStream. You can use anything. So I use a combination of PropStream, Zillow, to comp. So the first thing I usually do is I paste the address and I see if I can look at the property. And this property I cannot look at because obviously Google is not there. Oh, maybe.
Yeah, Grosvenor Way. That's the
Riverdale.
address. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, so I guess it's Riverdale. Yeah. So I guess it's one of those things. It is. That's the right address. Riverdale.
That's the right address. So
yep.
I can't really see it. So seeing it obviously helps us because it. So this is Riverdale, right?
Yeah. Try Riverdale. It's like I think it's a suburb. Yeah, it's a suburb of Atlanta.
Yeah. Okay. So cool. So obviously I'm looking at bed, bath, square footage, and then your build. Those are the important stuff. And then sometimes I will come and look at a few of the other things, like it's a frame construction. I know that.
So what does it matter? Like I never think why does it matter if it's frame construction type? Like these are small ninja nuances that are going in your head. But can you give us a little bit of insight to what you're looking at? Maybe explain to us what's going on in the mind of Faiz.
Yes, absolutely. So depending on what markets you are in, it doesn't really matter for markets that are a little newer, like 1975. It's quite new, I would say. But like for markets that are older, a frame construction property is going to be less valuable than a brick construction.
Wow.
Yeah.
I never even thought of that. Like,
sure.
You know what I mean? Okay, so you're just thinking of the age of the house, and you're thinking, so frame, does that mean wood? Is that what the frame means?
Exactly. It's like everything's wood inside. It's just basically on the outside. It's how it's built. So it's usually frame and then insulation and stuff, and then they put siding.
Okay, so that's susceptible, maybe, 50, 60, 100 years, susceptible to like rot and things like that, right?
Yeah, you have lean issues, but so they will actually lean inward. So we've seen that in Pittsburgh, where properties just like kind of like lean in a little bit. And so you have sagging of the joists and stuff. With frame, those issues are less prone.
Okay, so if I'm a new wholesaler, I'm trying to just kind of understand this stuff. I should just know that if it's an older house and it's frame, that hey, maybe the buyer's going to ask for a little bit of a discount for that.
Yes, or you go by what other buyers are buying frame construction for.
Okay,
That's so there's a lot of formulas and stuff like that people take into account, and I personally don't use them that much just
Really?
because. Yeah, I mean, so the stuff that Jamil does, that's great, right?
Really?
Yeah, it's really great. But like like the markets where I'm doing work, we just figure out what other buyers are buying, and if we can't find a comp similar, then we use the formula if it's a flip and use that. But oftentimes the numbers that you see where another comp has sold
Hmm.
is a key indicator of where you need to price yours.
Okay, got it. So let's do that with this one.
Yeah, so let's look at Zillow as well. So I'll pull up Zillow here. So this is the property. As you can see, this is quite a different estimate. From Zestimate is saying 165, and over here, oh, it's not that far off. It's 183. I never ignore these. These
Mm,
are these are good anchors for my
mhm,
mind,
mhm.
right? So I'm trying to understand what's the program behind these two things, seeing that I'm not that has led them to these numbers, right? So easy thing is like comparables, right? Um, so if you're wholesaling, you're looking for cash sales, right? So in PropStream, um, well, in actually comping, there's two things you look for. One of them is just cash sales. So
Mm.
imagine this situation. Imagine someone um, bought a property and they just bought it for cash, and it will show up as cash. So you can click over here and show cash buyer, and you know exactly what the cash buyers are. But
Oh,
imagine that a little further back, they bought it on cash and then they listed it and then they sold it on the market. It will not show up under that.
oh
Let
wow.
me know if you got that. That's an
So
important.
so if you buy for cash and you're chilling, it shows up as a cash.
Yeah,
But if I flip it and I I sell it, so I buy it in cash and then I sell it and somebody bought it, all fixed up with a loan, my cash purchase is not going to show up on PropStream
right. And why is that important? The
because
reason the first one is important because it's an easy way to
yes,
show you that, right, where you're actually need to be
yeah,
for price point, right? It gives you an idea,
right,
right? The second one is important because you know that okay, it gives you an ARV, but
hmm.
not only that, it gives you another price point where that person actually bought or that company bought that other property for.
So PropStream won't show me the cash sale if somebody flipped it and it sold. So does
Yeah.
that mean I have to go to Zillow and then like will this cash
No,
sale
it will. It will. So there's some trickery to it, right? So let's do that, right? So I'm gonna do a couple of things. I want to. It can be a lot of information to take in,
be?
right? A lot of people just simplify comping, but to be a good comper, you have to look at everything like that. So essentially, we're doing two things. One,
Okay.
we're looking for the ARV, and the ARV we'll look for by seeing what properties have sold that are in flip condition,
Okay.
right? Okay. But that those set of properties also give you or may give you the previous purchase price in the near past,
Got it.
right before it was sold, right? So those are also data points.
Got it.
And those are data points from flippers.
Got it. And so those are your buyers, right? Your
Those
buyer.
those can be your buyers in addition to the ones who just bought it,
Hmm. Hmm. Got it.
right?
Makes
Okay.
sense.
So let's look for ARV first.
Okay.
Okay. So this is our property. It's 1370 square feet. Let's do Zillow first because most people have Zillow. Let's see
Okay.
where we end up with Zillow. So this is the property. If we can put it in here. Okay. That's cool. So we know it's 1370 square feet, 1975, 3 beds and 2 baths.
Yep.
Okay. So this thing is right. Okay, I can move it. Perfect. Um, so I'll zoom out a little bit. So it gives me like I'm trying to see stuff over here first, right? Why
Mhm.
here? Because it's especially this road where
Yeah.
there's a number, seems like this is like a big barrier. So we're going to try to find properties here. So let's see if there's anything pending here at all.
Oh
We've
wow,
not
you
we've
actually
not
look
set
at pending.
anything, right? We've not set any barriers there, right? We've not set any other criteria here.
Okay.
Right. So I'm just like quickly looking and seeing what's going on. This is like a property. Doesn't even say what it is, but doesn't even say like how big it is. 230. Okay. And this one's 32. Doesn't again say what kind of property, and it's for 130,000. I mean, it's not the nicest, you can tell, right? It probably needs work. It would need probably medium rehab.
Okay. Okay.
Those are some cool markers. So that's with pending. And then let's try to go to sold, right? A lot, right? So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to show only the stuff in the last 12 months.
Still a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot, right? And then I am going to narrow out the square footage. And I start off kind of broad a little bit, right? So it was 13 something, so I'd go between 1,000 and 750 and see what kind of data I have.
Okay.
Right? Okay, so that's a decent amount of data.
Yeah.
Right. So now this is bigger. Obviously, you can tell. Like this is why I like a lot of the props. Yes, this stuff. So this is smaller, 138. This is bigger, right about the same size. This seems to be right on it, but we don't know if this is it. And then yeah. So from here it says. I mean, I would probably, if I had to guess, without really looking at the picture of the house, that your ARV is probably going to be between 220 and maybe 230. Right. I don't know what your property looks like.
Let's say it needs medium to heavy rehab. Let's just
medium to heavy rehab. So so we can see that this was bought by someone for 250, and it was very recent. Very recent.
Yeah.
So you can actually scroll down here and into price history.
Oh wow, look at how much they.
Yeah, so someone bought it and sold it. You know what my guess is here?
You think that was like a wholesale or something like that?
Yeah, I would say this is a wholesale, right? It's probably been sold to a hedge fund.
Oh wow, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's probably been sold to a hedge fund, because who buys it and sells it, or it's a wholesale. Right? It could be a wholesale. You know, it's a decent spread, right? Okay, so that's that. Look at this one. This is nice.
This looks nice.
Yeah, this is nice. Is your property 2 stories? Let's go check this out a little bit. Does it say
property type? Does it say, what does it say it there? I don't see it.
Number of stories is 1.
Okay, so yeah, that sounds about right.
So it's a single story. This is a double story house. So not really the same, but let's see what happened here. And again, when I do this, I go through it very, very fast. This just sold randomly. There's no data.
Okay, got it.
This is a little too big. This is 175. We don't know if this is a flip or not.
Usually when I see no photos, I think it's not a flip. Like I think it's like,
yeah, but like you have to go here, but it's not a flip. Someone sold it, right? It's probably off market. This is probably a good area for wholesalers.
Okay.
This one sold for a lot of money, but this is probably newly built. It looks really newly built. Okay. So I would say ARV between 200 and 220.
Okay, somewhere in that range. Got it.
Yeah, somewhere in that range. So see, this is 200. 200 and 220 is right in between this two. So Yeah, I mean, it went and sold for over market price.
So they
And
got it. Look, they got it May of 2019 for 125K.
yeah, so this is a flip, right?
That's a flip.
Pretty much.
Right.
Yeah, it's a slow flip, but it's still a flip,
It's still a flip for sure.
right? So that's the extent of Zillow. So
Okay.
where would you buy it? You would buy it depending on how much work it requires, since you said that you know a certain amount of work is required. So once you have the ARV, I made a very simple calculator, right? And anybody can.
Oh wow, this is like the simplest calculator I've ever seen.
Yeah, this is sort of the cash only simplest calculator. All you throw in is the square footage, which is, what was it, 1300 something, 1350. Let's just say 1350.
Yeah.
You can change these numbers, right? And then we have our numbers. So let's put 220. And then depending on, you can throw in your wholesale fee and then how much the buyer's profit margin is going to be. So someplace like here, it's going to be probably like this.
Okay.
So you can see that, for a medium to full rehab, these are the prices you need to be around.
Between 106 to 123, right?
Yeah.
That's amazing. This is such a cool. You know what? I love this. Can I get a copy of this?
Yeah, you have a copy of this.
I already do, don't I?
Yeah, you do.
That tells you how much I actually comp. This much.
Well, at least let me say this. Let me rephrase that. Matt has recreated this calculator, and I'm told that his one is better and it's easier to use.
Really, Matt?
Yes.
You mean some guy named Matt?
Some guy named Matt.
Oh,
Exactly.
Brian's been using this one. See, I guess when you say you mean my team, because
Yes.
this is my first time saying this.
Yeah, this is the first time. There's a bunch of stuff happens that you don't know about.
I have no idea what's going on in my business except certain sellers I talk to. So guess what? What do you think I got this deal under contract?
I don't know. There's more. Let's go through how we would
do it. There's more. So where are we at? Between 106 to 123.
Yeah, we'll do 106 to 123.
Siren says, how can we get our hands on this? The answer, Siren, is you got to go. If you're a sub 2 student, take a screenshot of this Twitch, tag Faiz. I was going to say Fios, but we'll call you Faiz today. Tag Faiz, share one key takeaway, one thing you learned, and ask him very nicely if he can DM you the link to this calculator, and you will have it for free. But you have to go.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that. Listen, there's so many nicer calculators that are out there, right?
This is so simple. I love how simple it is.
Yeah, but my point is there are nicer ones out there. So if you want my shitty ass calculator, I'll easily post the link for everyone. So
I don't know if it's shitty. Our closer, Ryan Catalan, has been using this one. He's been closing deals left and right. And Matt's actually simplifying his right now.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Let's keep going.
So if you had that and you had something like that, something like this, you can calculate and figure out where we need to be. Again, these numbers can be changed. It's market specific. Again, this is important. This is market specific. I have a standard kind of thing set up here. You can use Jamil's one or the Pace's one. They're one and the same, and they have different numbers here. But this is where we are.
Okay.
So there's some of the things that you can adjust. That you can put the ARV. You can do the closing costs. Depending on state, this will be, you can adjust these numbers, and you can, depending on the market, you can adjust what the profit margin these people are looking for, and then you can throw in numbers and it just spits this up. So let's see what we find out. Now, honestly, man, I don't remember. I think I have looked at this property before, but I really don't remember what the comping looked like back in the day.
Sure.
So over here, I would go into this. This is a good layout here. So let's see what we find. So the first thing I'll do is come look at subdivision name. Okay, got it. This makes my life easy. And then what I would do is I will first flip it high to low. Okay, when I flip high to low, there's some crazy numbers that you will sometimes see that only means that there is very likely a multiple parcel sale.
So like a portfolio or something?
Yes.
Okay.
So this one is not marked as multi-parcel, but if I had to really guess, I would say this is a multi-parcel sale. Someone messed up on the recording.
Okay.
So I would ignore that.
Okay, let's ignore it.
That, right? So the next one is, look at that, 1986, different subdivision. Let's ignore that.
Okay.
And then you have this one. Oops, sorry.
3-2.
3-2.
1400.
Yeah, look at that. A little different, right? And you have
the same subdivision, I think.
same subdivision. And we have some photos. Or not. But I would open this in a new tab.
Okay.
And I'll look at something. I'll look at where they sold it at and when they bought it at.
Whoa.
Before. So you can see that they bought it at 140.48. But this is the new owner. You want to see who the older owner is. And seems like it's a person. So they might have just bought it and list. And then you can also look at here to see what happened. So someone bought it and then they actually sold it and then they sold it again. So this seems like the market went up and these people just exited the thing.
Amazing.
So it's not really a flipper, I would say. So here's another one. 205. Let's see if this is a flip.
Ooh, there's photos.
And it's a flip.
Wow, they bought it for 170.
Yeah.
And then they sold it for 205.
Yes. So, and you can see, oh, look, Open Door bought it and sold it.
Oh, wow.
So this gives us clarity on our comp, right? Around 200 to 220.
Okay.
Open Door didn't do a really good job. They just digitally they did the bare minimum and then they digitally what's the word?
Like they rendered it or something?
No, it's there's the word, staged it, digitally staged it.
Oh, they didn't even put in real furniture?
No, I would guess it's not. Yeah, it's definitely not. It's like,
holy cow. I would have guessed that's real. Wow.
Yeah, it is. They kept a lot of the original stuff and they put the painting and stuff. This is digitally done. As you can tell, this is actually quite an old looking house with like wooden trim work and all that stuff. They just the basic minimum and they sold it.
Awesome. So where do we go next once we see this and it kind of
so it gives you the ARV. See if you can find. I mean, obviously, I would go about this very fast. So I'd go like here. I'd go here, and I'd open these tabs very fast.
Okay.
Right, and I'd go down to here, and I'll see if there is any of these are flip. Flip. Yeah, look at that. That's a flip.
Whoa, that's a flip. February.
Look at that. They bought it at 110, 111 this year, right?
Can we see photos?
Yeah, I mean, this is the flip property.
Whoa.
Right?
They flipped it completely.
Yeah. It's about the same, it's like a little bit different, but not that much that would make a difference. You definitely want to account for if your one has garage and this one has garage, doesn't have garage. Sold for 230. Where do we end up with our one? Pretty good, right?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Wow, that calculator's working.
Calculator works. But if you didn't have a calculator, what would you do? What would I do if I didn't have a calculator?
I would call
the number here, the number that we just saw, wherever that was, where is it? Over here, would give me an idea where they bought it at. So I would try to get it at probably $5,000 to $10,000 lower than that.
so we can get it like so at 106. You know, if these same people buy it at 111, we make $5,000. But
Yeah.
they bought it in February of last year. You know, maybe they'll pay a little bit more this year.
Yes. Yes.
Amazing.
So here's a quick tip, right? If you see this without really knowing, imagine this guy is a flipper and he
Okay.
bought this from someone who actually is a wholesaler,
Okay.
right? This price over here, this is important, guys. This price over here does not include the assignment fee.
What?
Yes.
I thought it did. I thought that's the total.
If
Oh.
it's an assignment they bought it from. So imagine I had a property, your property for $100,000,
Okay.
right? And I sold to Sam for 120. When it's recorded, it will show up as $100,000 sales price.
Oh, I didn't know that. So that means that like at the on the HUD, right, at the closing table, they're writing basically a $20,000 assignment fee. That's not the purchase price. That's a separate thing. So the purchase price was 111, but the assignment fee could have been more. So we know that we can get this at 111, right? Like,
yeah. If
whoa.
that's like pretty safe, right? I mean, we ended up really on point with the ARV,
Mhm.
right? Plus and minus depending on whatever.
So can we repeat that concept? So like, so let me see if I understand, and you can correct me if I have this wrong. What I think is going on is that price of 111 that is recorded on, like, say Zillow, say the HUD, PropStream, that price, that purchase and sale price of $111,000, that does not include the assignment fee.
If this was an assignment, yes.
If this was an assignment, so these assignment fees are not put into the purchase price when the title companies are recording it. It's just a separate fee that they record, and the actual purchase price is recorded.
Yes, the actual purchase price is recorded.
So that is the under contract price. If I'm a wholesaler, I'm looking at the price. Say just I'm guessing. I'm like, whoa, I know this was assigned, or I'm thinking this was assigned. I know that's a good price. I can
Yeah,
get the contract.
that's a good price. So what this necessarily means for wholesalers is this, guys. If you see recurring numbers that are in this range and you're like, damn, I need to get a $10,000 less, I cannot make it happen, don't fret, get it under contract, because very likely that this is an assignment, especially in an area with that many sales. Like, this is a lot of sales. We have 20 sales in that 0.5 mile radius in 12 months. That's good.
Good.
Right? So you know that you could probably find a buyer there. Now, if there's only 5 or 6, then you have to be careful. But I would be very comfortable getting Munif's property at around 110.
Nice. Amazing. What do you think I got it at?
Knowing you got it at maybe 80.
70K.
Oh,
We got it.
But let me ask you another question.
Yeah.
How much are you assigning it for? Like, what is your assignment fee on that?
We are selling it at 115.
There you go.
Our buyer is paying 115K.
Yeah.
It actually was 130.
Yeah.
And there's some issues with the transaction, and I'm asking him to kind of front some private money.
Yeah.
Because basically, there's a deed restriction. We have to actually hold the property for 90 days. So he's going to actually be our private money lender. And just as a pain in the ass, he's like, give me a $15,000 discount. And we're like, you know what? We love you. Of course, we'll give you a discount. So his actual price, if there was no deed restriction, it'd be 130K.
Wow.
Yeah, but he's actually our private money lender for it. We're going to hold it and then he's gonna buy it. So we gave him a discount, so it's at 115.
That's amazing. Fat checks.
Fat checks. So we got it at 70. It's a slam dunk for us.
It's a slam dunk.
We've been working on that deal for almost a year. Like it's you got to stay consistent. You got to follow up. It's all in the follow up. Wow. Thank you. Guys, do you guys have any questions? Let's go into Q&A. We've got another couple minutes. Q&A. Let's ask Faiz while he's here, right? He's incredibly busy. He's running multiple businesses. He's running and managing multiple teams. He has taken, some time out of his busy schedule to be here to teach you guys for free. Do we have any questions? What is a deed restriction? I can answer that one. It's basically it's sometimes, hedge funds or banks, large institutions, they just, when you buy a property, they just don't want you to sell it for a certain amount of days. So for example, like a hedge fund, if a hedge fund wants to buy a property, they might ask you to hold the property in your LLC for 30 to 90 days. Same with some banks. They might say, hey, if you're going to buy this, we don't want you to sell this for a certain amount of time. It's never a problem. You can just hold it and then sell it later. How did you find your buyers for dispo? Faiz, how do you find your buyers for dispo?
We throw the kitchen sink at it.
The kitchen sink.
Yes. We do many things. So we do, like we have a process by which we find out like buyers, like that one guy, like that 111, like would go and find that and reach out to them, reverse script trace them. If it's LLC, we'll see. That's just the whole thing and on its own. This is challenging. Like you need. There's a lot of grunt work in dispositions.
That's why I don't do it. Right. I literally, that I don't comp, I don't dispo. I literally call you or your team and I go, hi, please, can you sell this for us? And then we share, right? We split the assignment fee, but that means I don't have to go find buyers or pull a buyer's list and start negotiating with buyers and showings and this and that and right? I just have to get the contract, and then I can go, hey, Faiz, will you JV with me? Will you help me help me sell this? And you'll say, yeah, for 50-50 split all day, right? So what would you consider a good list to pull?
So obviously, people that want to sell, right? They have to have motivation. There's many. Right now, foreclosures is good. Pre-foreclosures is good. Tax liens is always good. If you can get into niche lists like probate, that's amazing, right? But it's a longer term play. Even longer term play, but like really fat deals is pre-probate. Basically searching. Those are work, but quick, easy ones, tired landlords, and then pre-foreclosures, tax liens, all kinds of tax liens, even like divorces. Some of this divorce information is available in, I believe, in PropStream.
Got it. Amazing. Yeah. How did you guys structure that with the buyer? I asked nicely. It's have a relationship with your buyers. We've sold this gentleman a property before. He knows us. He trusts us. I said, hey, here's some challenges. Will you work with us? He said, absolutely. But hey, this is going to cost me this much money. Will you cover that cost? I said, of course, because money has a cost, right? There's a cost to money. And so we said, no problem. We'll take that out of our fee. We structured a deal. Boom, it's done. Boom, super simple. How do you work with realtors? Faiz, do you work with realtors?
To sell deals all the time. That one deal that we sold for you was to a realtor.
Holy cow. Which one? Are you talking about the one you got us a $54,000 assignment fee?
That one, yeah.
Wow. And that's a separate deal from this Atlanta deal, right? This is a Ohio deal. It was 2 properties, I believe, right? And you got us $54,000 in an assignment fee. Yep, Brian Catalan closed that deal. So how'd you find the buyer?
I don't know. It could have been one of the groups, or it could have been. I think it was from PropStream reverse tracking, right? So we go for people that are actually cash buyers, and one who are actually bought it in cash, the green ones in PropStream, but also ones that have actually flipped. Sometimes we will see go after properties that are rented and see when they were been renting for, and go after those people and see, hey, are you looking for more renters? But we also have our, big buyers, right? Like, we work with hedge funds a lot. So we'll sell stuff with hedge funds if they're in hedge fund areas. And that's what we're working with our with our JV partners that we did just before, is making sure that they're actually in markets where there's heavy activity, right? Don't run away from activity, run face forward, like right away, because like the more buyers there are, that means it might be harder to get your first deal, but it's all the same amount of work, and at the end of the day, you'll make more money selling to buyers in a market where there's a lot of buyers.
So this is very interesting that you say that. Like, you're a JV partner for us. You literally handle all of our dispositions. So you've actually coached some of our JV partners who lead gen for us on what markets they should market to. And you've done this previously, and our lead gens, our most successful lead generator JV partners, are actually taking action, and they're generating leads in these markets with high hedge fund activity that we can turn around and ask you to dispo. So guys, like, who else better to ask for what markets to be in than the guy actually selling the deals to buyers, right? The markets that are hot and popping, where you're going to have an easier time finding buyers versus, I don't know, middle of nowhere in Kentucky or Idaho.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I want to, maybe this is, maybe one day, maybe I'll come back in, future. I'll come back. I want to share like how I, do stuff, and how I make these decisions for my partners, right? Because my success is tied to their success, and I cannot just feel out stuff and be like, go here and go there, right? So if I can share my screen again, I want to show you
Sure,
guys
go ahead.
real quick.
Jin says, how can we JV with you? Are you asking how you can JV with me or Faiz or both? Because the answer is, for Faiz, just shoot him a DM. For me, shoot Samsung a DM. All right. Then shoot Samsung a DM. He will help you. He might be really busy. He's also hosting the Nightly Dial, but he is also a key member of Team Ninja. Shoot him a DM. He'll walk you through all the steps, because really we're only looking to JV with people who are very serious and committed in taking their business to the next step, meaning they're open for positive feedback, constructive criticism. If Faiz is like, hey, bro, why are you marketing in Farmville? You should be marketing in Atlanta or Jacksonville, Florida, or Gainesville, Florida. You actually take the feedback. If Brian Catalan is saying, hey, man, you're not really generating leads, you're really, sending anybody and their mom over, you should be open to feedback. So talk to Sam. He'll walk you through that and the structure and all of that stuff. Blow up Sam. Here's his personal number. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna give you guys Sam's personal number. He's gonna kill me, but I want you guys to text him. Hold on. Just give you
That's
guys
that's such a
559-394-6204. I want you guys to wish him a happy birthday too. So wish him a happy birthday. And I want you to also text him if you are interested in JVing with us. I don't think today's his birthday. I actually forgot what his birthday is, but just wish him a happy birthday, because who doesn't love getting
and ask him how Loki is. How Loki's.
Oh my gosh, his cat.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Ask him how his cat is, because his cat was in the ER, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So send love to Sam and his cat. Actually,
Like,
let's
hey,
do the
how's
birthday joke.
Loki doing?
Yeah, ask him how his cat's doing. He'll
And pray,
really
pray,
appreciate
pray
that.
for
Actually,
Loki's recovery.
please do. Please send Sam's cat Loki, who's named after the god of trickery, because his cat's very mischievous. Pray for his cat's speedy recovery. Just send love to Sam. That's his number though. Ask him if you know how you can JV. His birthday is March 16th, so put that in your calendar to wish him a happy birthday. Thank you, Melissa. Melissa, you're amazing. So that's Sam's number. If you want to JV with us, shoot him a text. Send thoughts, prayers, and warm feelings to Sam. Blow up his phone. Send prayers and love to Sam Singh. Blow up his phone.
So one last thing. Can you see my screen, guys?
Not yet. Hold on. There we go.
Okay. So, like I have actually there's a couple more coming in. So, I have different hedge funds that
Holy cow, dude.
right.
You're sharing. This is top secret stuff. It says do not distribute. You're sharing your personal confidential.
No, I just want to say, I'm like, that's how we make the decisions for our
Wow.
giving partners, right? So we know exactly where they're buying, how many are buying, and all that stuff. Oftentimes where their buy boxes are, their other stuff, and that's how we actually inform our.
Whoa, this is like some top secret confidential stuff that's proprietary to your business, and you just shared it all with us for free. So guys, would you guys be interested? Let me know in the comments. Would you guys be interested if Faiz came back to do a stream just about hedge funds? Let me know, because like this is, I mean, we're asking a lot here for Faiz to literally get off the phone from calling hedge funds and making money to spend time with us to show us what he's doing. All right, I got a couple yeses, but I need more. I literally need more people to tell us if they want. All right, so I was bummed when he got rescheduled last time. Let us know. Let us know. So this is how you can let us know, because I want to actually track this. I'm actually going to go and count. If you actually want Faiz to come back and you want him to share that calculator, that simple MAO calculator, I need you to go to the sub2 page, tag Faiz, screenshot, take a screenshot or a photo on your phone, whatever's easier, post one thing you learned from this Zoom. Tag Faiz, tag me, ask him to come back, ask him nicely for the calculator, and he will send it to you. And if I'm going to count this, and if we have enough people, I will bring him back. Let's bring him some deals. Hell yeah. Guys, thank you for showing up today. We really love you. We really appreciate you. This makes me so happy to bring guys like Faiz in to teach you guys, to show you guys this stuff for free. Faiz, thank you, brother. I love you. You're my favorite cousin. Don't tell our other cousins. You're my favorite cousin. All right, man. Hey, appreciate you.
Thanks
brother.
for having me, guys. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye, guys.